Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
The Spider Babies.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Spider Cast. That's right, it's the end of the month, you know what that means. They're back! The men who Will lovingly refers to as the Bad Babysitters Club. I am Phil, joining me as always, Mr. Signal of Doom, Mr. Sunshine, Mr. Dave Finn himself.
Hey, I'm in a good mood, people. Deadpool 3, RDJ's back, and I'm in a good mood.
Woohoo!
And just like Peter David, I'm hanging on. You know?
And Mr. Ray Plays Games, Mr. One or Two Hands on the Deck, it is Ray.
Hey, hello. Thank you, Phil. Hey, Dave. It's great to be back. And yeah, like Dave, I am absolutely pumped. What a week, past week for Marvel.
Hell, this has been just a weekend, yeah.
The weekend, yeah, it's crazy.
Best few days Marvel's had in probably 20 years. Actually, since I don't think they've been on such a high since Endgame, and maybe even Iron Man 1.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Ant-Man, Dave? Not since Ant-Man? No,
I
think he's lost. I think he got cut. They censored him.
Yeah,
there you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you now.
Happened, man. But no, I was saying I think this is the biggest few days for Marvel in 20 years. Seriously, I think it's fantastic. I think that it's basically just the greatest thing that's ever happened. RDJ's back as Dr. Doom. Deadpool 3 is amazing.
Yeah. Look, I'm super excited. I wanted to ask you guys, and Dave, unfortunately, he's been compromised. But Phil, maybe you could answer. Oh, there, Dave, you're back. As you said, Dave, RDJ, Deadpool, and Wolverine. But were there any other big announcements from Hall H? I mean, that was all I heard. Was there any other big thing? I know Secret Wars 2027. We've got Doomsday now, 2026, instead of the Kang Dynasty, right? So that's been replaced. But what else?
No
what
one
else
gives
has
a
been?
shit about the Kang Dynasty.
No, I don't. Doomsday is way better.
And fantastic. Yeah. There was Fantastic Four news.
There was some footage, right?
There was some footage of Reed doing something and the Thing going on dating, and it was confirmed it was early 60s. Now, Ray and Phil, would you agree that means RDJ has to be in the Fantastic Four movie as well if he's doing
that? Was gonna be my question. If is he going to be in there? Yeah. So here's my question. Okay, so here's the theory. Well, first, so is Tony Stark going to be a variant of Doom, or is Victor Von Doom? Is he just going to look like him? But if it's set in the 60s, maybe he's not playing a variant of Tony Stark. Maybe he's playing a variant of Howard Stark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, but I think Phil with variants and timelines and time travel, my money is that he's a variant of Tony Stark. Looking like him, but just had time traveled. He's back into the 60s. Because one thing, Doom time travels. I mean, he invented a time machine, like in the Marvel comics. So he's big on that. And variants, we know, like with the multiverse, we know.
So it's a variant Tony Stark. Is that what you're saying?
A universe where Tony Stark is Doctor Doom. I think that's where. I reckon that's his character.
Yeah.
It's a variant of Tony. You're right, a variant of Tony Stark, but he's still Doctor Doom, but he's just in that world. Yeah. So I don't know, which begs the question: will we see down the track like the real Doctor Doom, and who will that be? And that would be pretty awesome. But I can't see him being the Doctor Doom. I don't know. It seems to cross wires too much with him being the iconic Iron Man. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, unless he spends 99.9% of the time behind the mask, because if he is Doom, he should be spending most of the time behind that mask.
But still, I mean, like they're both. We're talking. This is not. I was telling someone else. This is not like Chris Evans jumping from Johnny Storm to Captain America, right? Captain America, top tier hero, but Johnny Storm, Fantastic Four, not really...
Skinless Johnny, yeah,
not
awesome.
In the same,
and also 20 years ago or more,
yeah. But we're having RDJ play number one Iron Man, who heralded in the MCU, and now he's playing the top tier, if not the top villain. So. I don't know. I don't know. I can't see him.
Do you want my take, guys? I think I think he is going to be playing the real Doctor Doom. I just think they backed the money track up so far, and they know that he's a big star. They know they're in trouble, and they just said, honestly, they know they're in trouble. They brought in the Russell brothers. They brought back RDJ. They know audiences love him, and they've just gone, fuck it. Like we'll story-wise it up, but I do believe he's going to be the real Doctor Doom.
Maybe if they put. I don't know. Again, I'm trying to think if they disfigure him enough that you don't see him, like without the mask, that he doesn't look like RDJ, then I can see.
Look, I think they're banking on recognizability, and they're banking on the fact he can act and he's very charming.
Oh
he
yeah,
look, he's evil and all that,
Yeah.
And they needed a win so badly, that they're just. It's almost like let's just buy ourselves a win and. Fuck it! Like, why not? I'm glad they've done it.
I just can't wait for I just can't wait for Deadpool to come running in and point at him and go, "They're going to make him do this till he's 90."
Yeah, and
Exactly.
and like I'd rather this than fucking Ant-Man 4 or Marvel's 2 or another bullshit Black Panther without Black Panther. All the crap that they've been serving up for years.
Well, but this is like the tentpole though, right, Dave? This is like the tantamount to Endgame and Infinity War.
But good.
Doomsday.
Yeah, he's the new Thanos, yeah.
Yeah, good.
That's crazy.
Because, dude, let me tell you, they've been playing with a weak hand for multiple years, and they've been fooling nobody but themselves. And I think finally they've looked at the box office receipts and gone, we're in actual real trouble here, And you've got to start making some big plays. And he's the biggest player of all because he's so popular and he's so good.
And
everyone knows who he is,
And if they bring him back, I mean, are they going to bring Chris Evans back as Captain America? Because I'm
sure you'll see him in Secret Wars, man. I'm sure.
I think Secret Wars will see him.
My family was like, Captain America's dead. I'm like, no, he's not. We saw him as an old man at the end of Endgame, but we never saw him die. After Endgame, we never saw him. Remember in Falcon and Winter Soldier, people were talking, oh, he's on the moon, he's on this, but you never know they never said what happened to Steve Rogers.
No, you'll see Chris Evans at some point in the future play Cap.
And Hemsworth as well. Like Hemsworth is
Hemsworth,
you'll see all that, yeah.
They've got enough people that they can truck around, but I was having this conversation, maybe with you, Ray, and I was saying, or maybe my friend Adam, and I was saying, I believe in Secret Wars you'll see Hugh Jackman play Wolverine for the final time too.
Wow, 2027, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that you will see him doing that. Apparently, there was no X-Men news, but I do think we'll see some hints of X-Men in all these movies. But I think they've made the right decision. I really do. And those people who are like my co-host Richard, who hates everything, hates this, but he hates it all anyway. Like his whole thing is like, I don't want to watch any of it. And I'm like, well, you have to for the show. He's like, I will, but I hate it. And I'm like, good. You still have to watch it. But I think it's the biggest, safest bet of all time. And they're betting on RDJ to sort of win audiences back too. It's a big bet, but I think it's a bet that automatically lifts their chances straight away.
Right at this moment, it's like, you're going to get audiences because they're going to be like, well, how are they going to do that? What's he going to be like as the villain instead of the hero? Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of created this mass discussion exactly like we're having now about will he be the Doom and
which opens up stories.
Possibilities, and it also opens up expectations. And then you get on the internet, people will be kind of disappointed. But that's the nature of the beast anyway. I wanted to also say then it's so weird because the timing is kind of askew in the sense that I don't know about you guys. I know you definitely, Dave and Phil, I'm sure, about the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is kind of like heralded in the MCU. I think they said it's made it's already made up the profit, like $200 million in the first 3 days. It's already made up what I think the Marvels ended up
Yeah, because Marvel made no money. It barely made 100 million. You know. So.
Well, they said it's doing really good for an R-rated movie, which I know. I know Ray was hoping this was going to make $1 billion. It's not going to make $1 billion just because people aren't taking their little kids to see it and stuff. But I mean, it's still gonna do good.
I think it's gonna. It might crack the bill. It's on track. It's saying. I saw this thing. It's slightly less. I can't remember the movie, but. So it made $212 million over the weekend, and there's this other movie that
That's
made
a lot.
There's another movie that made 230 or 40 that went on to make $1 billion. So they're saying that there's a possibility that this could make it as well. But you're right, it is R-rated, so
it'll make a lot of money. It'll make a lot of money, and frankly, I've got a lunch on it that'll make $1 billion with Richard. So I hope it makes $1 billion for that.
Well, also going for it, Dave, is that it was not as expensive as a lot of typical MCU movies. I think it was like 200 million or something as well. So it's already kind of made that and more.
Also going, are we allowed to do spoilers here, Phil? Can I
go
say
ahead.
Something? Yeah, because also going for it's got Wesley Snipes as fucking Blade.
Oh.
And I'm so...
What a mind blow.
Motherfuckers are still trying to skate uphill.
Yeah. He still looks good. He still looks good, doesn't he? Like he looks...
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. I said he should be Blade. The next announcement should be that he's Blade in the movie and get rid of whoever that other guy was.
Apart from the grey hairs, he looks exactly the same.
I don't know why they did the grey. I don't know why they just didn't go all black, because he barely looked like Cage.
He was amazing. I mean, there's so many things to like about Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, we could talk about the cameos. We could talk about how thematic it was, like that self-referential meta kind of relationship Deadpool and the movie has with the audience. I thought that was awesome. The variants with all the Deadpools, Wolverine, Lady Deadpool, yeah, Blake Lively. Did you see that with Rob Liefeld called it he actually fashioned Lady Deadpool after Blake Lively because he's a huge Gossip Girl fan. Yeah, so he pulled out. There was this tweet where he did years and years ago saying if ever she gets on screen, she has to be a stunning blonde, and we kind of based her on Blake Lively, and then Blake Lively tweeted it going, "Oh look, it's kind of come true," and so she's the Lady Deadpool, which is bloody awesome.
She looked great. She looked fantastic.
Yeah,
I thought she looked like who was telling me that the cowboy Deadpool was Matthew McConaughey? Was that you?
Oh, was it?
Someone
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Phil, do you know?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
I believe Adam told me that. So he's usually correct on these things. But he advised me of that news. You also had Henry Cavill as a Wolverine.
What a crazy... When that turned up, I was kind of like, gee, Hugh Jackman, he's pretty friggin' pumped, right? Like his arms and the back of his... It looked pretty good.
And how about Age of Apocalypse Wolverine?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Exactly.
Patch.
Patch, yeah. I love Patch.
And issue 251,
To be fair, I actually, in my heart of hearts, was hoping Patch was going to be the Wolverine in the movie.
Well, he's very important.
You know what? Lilith was saying supposedly there's a rumor that all those variant Wolverines are going to show up somewhere later on. So yeah,
I hope so. Yeah.
How about
that wouldn't surprise me at all. That would be great.
How about the little tongue in cheek, the 5'3" Wolverine? I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, we were talking about when we did our movie review. That's what we were saying. The only way that could have been better is if they would have had like Danny DeVito do that variant.
Yeah.
I just all I could think of was that I'm in some Wolverine groups and all this, and there is a contingent of, shall I say, shorter statured people that have taken umbrage at Hugh Jackman, and even now, like 20 years on, are going, "Oh, he's way too tall. Look, he's as tall as Deadpool when they're doing that slow mo walk." I'm going like, well.
Calm down.
He's still Wolverine, right? And I was going, what's it like? He's made it like, and this guy said, "Oh no, look, I'm short of stature as well, so I'm standing up for what I believe in." I'm thinking, well,
you're an idiot.
I think Hugh Jackman's done a fantastic job.
Hugh Jackman's carried the franchise on his shoulders since 1999 or 8 or whatever. So I think people can take a chill pill on that.
Yeah,
but I think he came back for this.
Yeah, no, and I just think Deadpool. I think Ryan Reynolds just. So he and Sean Levy poking so much fun. It was
I actually made a comment. I said it's in my top 5 movies of all time. It might be in my top 3. Seriously, I think it's an amazing movie. It's the best Deadpool movie. I felt every Deadpool movie was actually not quite as good as what I wanted. Even 1, I love 1, I love 2, but I always felt there was more. This one hit it out of the park. Grand slam.
Yeah. look, I'd agree with you. I mean, I loved all three of them, Dave. I think Deadpool 1, though, you could tell it was on a budget. Like, you could tell, like for me, you could tell they put everything onto that highway fight scene. And, you could tell the set pieces, whereas this was a lot more seamless, and you had just, like, crazy cameos. You even had mention of the Punisher, Daredevil as well. If I'm not mistaken, there was one of the guys in that kind of the camp. He was the Russian, right? They recast everyone. Like Juggernaut.
So he was
but
the Russian.
In the Punisher movie, the Russian, he wore the red and white stripes. He's a guy that against Thomas Jane. I think that was what
Juggernaut, not the Juggernaut though. From
he didn't want to come back. I guess the
really?
Vin Jones. Yeah. I mean, a few of them.
Yeah, like he's that busy that.
I mean, Kelly Hu didn't come back. She was not, and I don't think it was Ray Parker's Toad. I didn't check the credits, but I don't think it was him.
Pyro was the same guy.
Pyro was Pyro. Yeah.
And Sabretooth was Sabretooth from X-Men.
Sabretooth, yeah, he was Tyler something. Yeah, no, he was good.
What did you guys think of Cassandra Nova?
Good, good.
Dave, yeah,
I mean, I'm not the most knowledgeable person. I mean, look, it needs a villain. Yeah. And I think she played the role as a villain. Like, it wasn't the most amazing role of all time, but I thought she did well with what she had, which wasn't much,
Yeah. To me, I think it's exactly the same, Phil. I think she did really well for what she did. I think she suffered from, that Batman movie syndrome where the villain is absolutely overshadowed by everything else.
Jesus Christ, Ray, you and Batman all the time.
Batman. Well, you know what I mean? Like, you know how there was a time during the Batman movies it was all about who's who else is gonna appear. Oh no, that was the sense I got. But
Batman,
like
my favorite character.
But with Deadpool and Wolverine, like, you had the bromance between Wolverine and Deadpool. You had all the meta stuff. You had the cameos. And so Cassandra Nova was there, and she served a purpose, like, looking at the Time Ripper. But and she was quite menacing. But at the end of the day, she was only part of a bigger picture, and she wasn't Thanos.
She did fine. She did fine.
Yeah, she did fine. She was fantastic.
I thought it was an interesting cast.
She only had to be one of two villains because basically that Paradox was the other villain.
Yeah, he was good. I liked him.
He was good. The British guy. Yeah.
He kind of comedic.
I also felt that the movie. I was reviewing it on Signal, and just how much information they got through. It wasn't slow. It was fast paced. It kept moving. Like, that was to its credit. And I felt it started, first 5 minutes were quite slow, and then it just really picked up pace and had that awesome beginning with him fighting with Logan's
that opening?
Bone.
Yeah.
Which was great, which was fantastic. It didn't put a foot wrong for me at all.
No, and I texted you, Dave, as well about that opening. Phil, I thought was so hilarious because I think I texted both of you about
Ray, check that out, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the Joel Schumacher ones. You know how
Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Actually, no, that they
great movies.
What I'm talking about is how Batman is overshadowed by all the villains.
I know, Ray. I was going to correct you, but I actually didn't.
Yeah.
Because I was being nice, but I'm glad you corrected yourself.
How dare you try to correct the number one Batman fan? How dare you?
No, when Ray said it, I actually sighed internally, but I know that he doesn't like Batman very well.
The concept was right. I just got it wrong.
The concept was right. You got it muddled, but it was right. Yes,
I got it muddled. Yeah.
Val Kilmer was overshadowed by all the stunt cast in Batman Forever. And George Clooney was woeful,
and Christian Bale as well, I guess. Heath Ledger, all that.
Ledger, yeah. So, but Christian Bale did hold his own a bit better.
But that sort of thing.
I'm Batman.
I watched that Batman thing again on YouTube. The funny one, where Batman is got a dirty mind and he's interrogating Bane. Have you seen that?
No.
And Talia al Ghul. Kind of and I'll send you the link. It is hilarious. There's this guy that impersonates Batman. He does a really good low voice, but it's all comedy. It's pretty funny.
Hey, I'm sure Ray knows this already, but this Thursday, Batman Cape Crusader premieres on Amazon, or at least up here on Prime Video. Yeah,
wow.
First season, 10 episodes. They're dropping all 10 episodes on the same day. Yeah.
Are they really? I heard that it's Mrs. Penguin now. It's not Penguin.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that. Yeah. But they're dropping.
The funny part is, it literally looks like Penguin in drag. If you look at it, like it literally looks like Penguin.
I did see
drag.
one picture. Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
But yeah, they're dropping the whole first season on the first day. Yeah, and I know they're doing at least 2 seasons because JMD Mateus said he wrote a season 2 episode. So
he did.
Wow, that's come around really quickly.
Ed Brubaker is one of the showrunners.
Nice.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for this. I'm looking so forward to it. That's
awesome.
Really. I didn't realize it was so soon, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's great news. Wow.
What did you guys think of the final Wolverine mask? That was a big moment for me.
Oh, with the handles, yeah.
Yeah, did you?
Really cool.
Were you expecting it? I totally forgot about the whole hoo-ha about it. Like people complaining, oh, he should have his mask on, blah, blah, blah. I went in the movie, and then finally when he reached behind it,
I was thinking he might do it. Yeah.
I totally forgot, and when he did it, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. And he looks really good in it. Like I think it looks really good. Yeah.
You know what I did too, and I stayed away from any spoiler. The only spoiler that I knew, other than I knew Elektra was in it because that was shown, and I knew Sabretooth. But the one thing I knew was that Wesley Snipes was in it. That's the only one. But I didn't know the Chris Evans one, so I was waiting for Wesley. And the Chris Evans one took me completely by surprise.
And how cool was that? Were you guys suck it in about? You thought it was Cap?
100%.
Yeah, I thought it was Cap as well.
Well, the way they did it, you would have thought it was Cap.
Yeah.
The way that they filmed it.
I figured it might be Johnny, but there was people I was with a group in the theater, and there's people who don't read comics, and I heard one of my friends say, "Oh, it's Captain America." I'm thinking, it might not be.
Yeah.
I must have been sucking me in. One of the most cringeworthy moments in my life. I was in Avengers, an Avengers movie. I forget what one. It might have been the first Avengers movie. And this jerk off up the back when Cap came on started singing like the Captain America Star Spangled Banner song or whatever the fuck it was, like Captain America and his mighty shield. I died a little bit inside. I was sitting next to a show, and I just thought, is this really what we're going to have to put up with?
Yeah.
They're the kind of people that I think honestly should be taken out of the room and shot. But like, yeah, there were people audibly kind of gasping and stuff when they saw him, and I must admit, they do it cleverly though, so they position it so you automatically think it's Cap the way he was.
Yeah, the way he dismounted as well.
If he came out looking a lot more like Johnny, I would think that, but they didn't. They did the opposite.
Yeah.
So it was
and when he pointed, like you kind of in retrospect, I was thinking, oh, was that red, white, and blue? Oh, maybe that was. Like I thought that was a bit of a hint, but you just don't recall it. I thought it was very, very smartly done. I think the whole thing was just like approached really smartly. Like there was so many Easter eggs for comic book fans, but it was so cleverly. Everything was so cleverly veiled. I thought it was great. Channing Tatum, like.
Oh no! I thought actually, if there was one thing didn't like, I thought his Gambit. I thought the cards looked awesome. But
I thought he was
horrible.
I don't know. I mean,
I thought he was good. Okay,
the suit looked comic accurate, but it almost looked like made him look too puffy almost.
Yeah. 2 things for me. I think his neck looked really stiff. Like it looked like it was a full on rubber thing,
and it looked like he was packed into that suit.
Yeah, but also as well, like you're just saying about the shape of him. Like to me, Gambit is kind of more of a slim, kind of agile guy, like Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Channing Tatum looked like a bit of a truck. He looks like he's he looks pretty.
That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of that was the suit. So yeah.
I thought he was awful. I thought he was awful. Like frankly, but
the fight
scenes
were
for
good.
Comedy though. He was more for comedy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the whole thing about it. Yeah.
The fight scenes with him flicking the cards looked awesome.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, he had his thing, and he had the bow, and he was doing the kicks and stuff. I mean, he did look pretty good. But
you know what? I could have done without him and had the guy who played him in Wolverine Origins and play it more down the line.
Yeah, that would be John something.
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor. I'm thinking John Carter. That's him.
But no, it was good to see Channing Tatum. I just felt that however they did that suit, I just didn't think it flattered him.
Yeah, I just thought it was too rubbery and it constricted him too much.
And I didn't really think. I mean, when he started talking, I was like, okay, that's where we're going. Like it's almost indecipherable. We're doing
Deadpool's
slapstick. Well, we're doing almost slapstick.
Yeah.
Instead of anything else.
Yeah, I mean, he was odd, but he's also got something working against him, being that he wasn't a solid franchise. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have a movie. The joke about him was that they had discussions for a movie of him but it never eventuated. And like he commented on that as well, which I thought was really cool. Like in the self-referential.
That's the only character that I feel I have no problems with any of that. I just feel it could have been done better. I thought the execution was maybe a little off. But that's one very small nitpick, and he did look good in the fight. He did look very good.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Oh, but I mean, I guess what I was saying, Dave, is like, if he had a movie come out, as good or bad as it was, we would have at least been used to him looking like how he looked, you know what I mean?
I also think if they'd done a movie, his suit would have looked better, and he certainly wouldn't have spoken like that. There's no way he would have spoken.
Yeah,
like that.
I think they just did that because they were like, this is going to be his only appearance as Gambit, so they didn't pour a ton into it.
Purely for laughs,
I wanted him to say, he didn't say, I wanted him to go up and have a little fight with Wolvie, and I wanted him to say, bang, you dead. That's his thing. But yeah, anyway, Elektra was great. She looked, Jennifer Garner looks stunning still. It's fantastic.
X-23.
X-20, when she put on the sunnies and the backpack and they kind of struck a pose, I was like, oh yeah, baby. Like this is I know she's like older now, but she still looks
I mean, she was so young before. She's only 19 now, so it's I mean, they could put her in way more stuff. Or... Yeah.
She's good as X-23.
She's awesome as X-23. Yeah.
She cut Juggernaut's like ankle, like the tendons in the back. Oh,
and then she cut his head off as well. So,
it was great. And the conclusion would be that those characters would be alive somewhere because one of them, or who was the one?
I thought they got consumed by. They saved Laura at the end, right?
Yeah, So she was there with Wolverine. So she.
Well, well, Deadpool asked the TVA woman, I forget her name. He said, can you do something about giving these people like an ending or whatever?
Yeah, that's why I was expecting actually to see them at the end. At the
I would have loved to have seen Blade there.
Laura. Yeah,
but but no, I've really got a feeling that it'll go down as an absolute classic movie. I really do think. And I think it's exactly what Marvel needed, and then Marvel have put another capper on it with today's news.
Yeah,
Marvel needed some wins badly, and they've, I think, achieved it in 1 week, which is actually to their credit.
I mean, think about it. You got Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, and you got the Robert Downey Jr. back. So
and now you've got Deadpool and Wolverine, actively in the MCU. Like I found it so hilarious how whenever Deadpool woke up, he'd go, "Oh, God of Thunder," or like he'd go, "Oh, Thor." It's so funny.
Well, I hope they use Hugh a bit more, because I understand they're going to pass the torch, but considering they've got him back for this, and he must be keen enough that I hope they just get a little bit more use out of him because he's so good at Wolverine. He's just so.
How did he look at the end there? I thought that was a body double, but that was Hugh. That was freaking. He's freaking ripped.
Good shape. He's in great
crazy.
shape.
Yeah. And I loved how Deadpool had Deadpool had a look. He's going,
Australia's finest export, Hugh Jackman. We're very proud of him, Phil, as you can tell.
I was going to say, you guys should be. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. And Hugh has to come back at least 1 or 2 more times. We need a scene with him and Robert Downey Jr.
Definitely. I definitely think,
I'll be happy at least once. Once he comes back and mingles with Deadpool and the others, like...
that's what I was saying. I'm thinking the Avengers Doomsday is going to be the first meeting of the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. Then Secret Wars is going to be all of them and the X-Men, probably. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be great.
And I think maybe just a couple of X-Men or a few X-Men. I think Wolverine, Hugh Jackman will be one of them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, no, that was really good. So the Hall H announcement as well. Just amazing. It
was a great day. It was I didn't see it coming. I was saying to Phil just before the show, we hear all kinds of rumors. I heard there was a rumor earlier this week the Russo brothers were coming back, and that should be mentioned. They've come back for these 2 events.
That is just as big a news, I think, as well, because I
think they were on stage with them. Yeah,
because they were given the keys to 2 of the most important films. You'd think, to cap off that first era.
And don't forget they made Winter Soldier, maybe the
and
best
Winter Soldier. Well, that was their that was their.
But I mean, Infinity War and Endgame. I mean, look how much money they made for the company. I'm sure they were like, anytime you want to come back, go, please.
You had to stick the landing with that, and they did it. So that they're full on reliable. I can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see what they do.
Well, it can only be better than what some of the shit they've been putting out. Like, I saw one person made a comment like, "What about Shang-Chi 2?" And I'm like, yeah, no one wants it. Like, go away.
Yeah, no one's actually. Yeah, no one's contacted Simu Liu, unfortunately. Yeah,
no one's begging for it at all.
Yeah, nor Thor actually as well. Like Chris Hemsworth, they interviewed him recently, and he said because he was over there doing the Transformers thing at San Diego, because he does a voice, and he said, he's confirmed he hasn't heard anything, but obviously he could be lying.
He'll definitely get used later on. Like,
well, I'm waiting. We're waiting for Hercules, right? There's that guy. What's his name? He was featured at the end of Thor. So
although no, he's just playing his cards close to his chest. They'll definitely use him in the Avengers movies for sure.
He's still, he's. I mean, compared to Hugh, he's still pretty young. He's 40,
so
he can easily. Yeah.
But there's no point in how can I say, kind of like you want to have some mystery. And don't forget, he was even in Deadpool, very briefly, like that little. They mentioned him in Deadpool.
Yeah. There's that scene he's crying for some reason. I thought it was pretty good.
But even that's enough to keep the ember alive.
Yeah. And we need more Spider-Man movies too.
Definitely.
Yeah. Did you read about? There was an interview or Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Actually, they were in Thailand promoting the thing, and they were asked. Who would you most want to? Oh yeah,
did they say Tom Holland Spider-Man? Yeah.
They said Tom Holland. Hugh Jackman joked, "Oh yeah, because we can abuse him because he's younger." And Ryan Reynolds goes, "Yeah, because Spidey's really great because you just keep on hitting him and he just gets right back up." So he reckons the three of them would do really well. I'd love to see. I
actually thought that he might have shown up in this Deadpool Wolverine in a cameo.
Yeah,
that was one of the things. Did you notice?
Bring all three together.
One time he was doing the
yes, he was. You're right. But that would bring Sony together. That'd be awesome. Like you having.
I just thought that might have been potential. But I will say this: like so many times on Signal, I've commented that with these films, they sort of half do them. They never commit fully. They always water it down. I felt Deadpool 3 is an example of them not watering it down, and look how successful the product was.
Yeah. Totally agree. It looked like everyone was genuinely enjoying themselves on the film. I know that sounds weird, but like if it kind of comes through, if they're really having a good time and they bring that energy across, and you can see with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh, just fantastic leads. Like, I don't know.
They're great, and they've done so much. The both of them. I mean, obviously they've enriched themselves as well, but they've done so much to lift the Marvel franchise up. Each of them in their own way, and then combine them. So I think all credit to them. And I'll definitely await this movie to come out, and I'll watch it again on streaming as soon as it comes out. It's my favorite Deadpool movie. And I love
that's probably going to make a bunch of money too on streaming and Blu-ray and stuff. Yeah,
how much money?
I'm going to get Blu-ray. It's an instant buy for me.
Me too.
I agree.
And but that as well. Like I loved it how Deadpool's like, "Oh, I'm the Marvel Jesus," and like that's kind of really referencing what everyone's kind of hoping for this movie. So I just love it. It's right on point. I think it was well written, and was well researched. So it serviced the fans, all fans, MCU fans and comic book fans as well. It had
how funny was it when he said, "Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You've entered at a low point." To Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good line.
Exactly. All those little things. You just. I just remember laughing. I was laughing out loud in the cinema.
How about that? How about that beginning scene when he's fighting the TVA with Wolverine's bones?
Yeah. Well, I was just saying before, like when they first announced the Deadpool Wolverine, the first thing they said is like, "We're not touching the legacy of Logan. Like, don't worry, it's a different Wolverine." They had in them. They must have read the script. They knew that opening scene was like that, and that is hilarious to me because it was the most irreverent. Like,
it's just great. Yeah. Like, it was really funny. Like, I honestly think sometimes people take it all too seriously. Like, really at the end of the day, these are comic book movies. They're supposed to be fun. Like, embrace it, and that's what this movie did. And look at the results.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's never going to be like the bloody Cecil B. DeMille film or whatever.
It doesn't need to be.
It doesn't need to be, but if it was aiming to create fun, like 100%, 10 out of 10 for me, that was like the most enjoyable film I've ever watched in a long time in the cinema. And they succeeded in what they want to do, make an enjoyable, feel-good film. And it really was. So,
So there we go. We love it. Marvel, make mine Marvel.
This is a golden age for Ray. I mean, the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, the RDJ's back. I mean, Mark Spector's getting a new series here soon.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, I don't know what else to do. West Coast Avengers has been announced.
What?
Yeah.
West Coast Avengers new
with
comic,
Spider-Woman with Jessica Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God, Seventh Heaven. And then we've got Avengers Assemble or something, don't we, Phil? With Wonder Man and Hercules.
Oh, there's a ton of them. Yeah, Steve Rogers.
Oh, sign me up.
Aren't they wearing like 90s? Some of them, half of them are wearing 90s jackets too.
Yes,
that does sound cool. Do you guys want to hear about a scandal? Okay.
What did you do, Dave?
Okay, so I was involved. So it involves Tom Brevoort. So, are you aware of what the X-Men comics have done with the QR codes?
No, I did see that, and I think they already said that ain't lasting long. Yeah,
this is the end page of some X-Men comics. Have, instead of the final page, which is some sort of a teaser to their fucking next shitty event, it's a QR code that you have to scan to read digitally, rather than it being in the comic.
Okay,
and this is Tom Brevoort's genius idea, and he was just getting hammered online for this. So it's going to be included. It's going to be included in the trade, but it's not included. So you buy your money for your floppy comic. Those few people who are still buying them, Ray, you're one of them. And when you get to the final page, where there would be this final page, instead it's a QR code that you have to scan to read digitally. It's not in the comic.
So the last page is not printed. Is that
Correct.
What you're saying? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What is going? That's terrible.
Well, you might like to know that I had something to say about it, and I said it to the man himself. And I'll just
Phil, what do you think about this?
I mean, it doesn't sound good, but from what I see, they're already going to be changing course on that. Because I guess
what is the purpose? What was the purpose of that?
Probably website traffic or something.
To piss me off. Probably to push people over to Marvel Unlimited or something. Because it's just some sort of
clicks, views,
clickbait thing. Here we go. So I started off with to Tom Brevoort. I have been told that some X-Men printed issues don't have a final page printer, but rather QR code you have to scan to see it. Can you explain why? It sounds like a ridiculous idea. And then some other guy came in, and then I said it's just that crappy, poorly thought out marketing scheme which makes no real sense. And this one guy was going, "It really doesn't. It really doesn't, does it?" And I said, "Nope. Brevoort is nothing but a snarky coward. He doesn't have real vision. He talks corporate speak to try and distance himself from his crappy ideas. I've heard it all before." And there was a bit more after that, but that was the best part. And the best part, he was copied in on that as well. And I was just like, "Oh, please! I hope he's reading this over his cornflakes." Because I was praying, like I could just because he was just copping nothing but grief, and I'm like, "You are such a coward! You are such a coward!" He was telling people who were saying, "Why is it included in the trade but not in the thing?" He goes, "It's a different product. It's a fucking packaging of the same shit." Yeah, Brevoort.
That is if anything, that is blatantly trying to get people to double dip. You know what I mean? And that's There's no. I can't see any reason why a consumer would go, "This is fantastic. Sign me up for it." It's purely on their side, an agenda that benefits them.
Cut down costs of printing that page.
Well, what did you see the funniest part, Dave? I guess one of the books that came out this week had that QR code and it didn't even work.
Yeah, there you go. What a surprise.
See?
Yeah,
that is a comedy of errors.
I said this on Signal. Under Brevoort's watch, he's taken on X-Men for 5 seconds. People are complaining. People are unhappy. Artists are being accused of tracing other artists, and now this QR code fiasco. I hope he's hauled out of Marvel, sent away with his hat, fired, gone, terminated by the end of this week.
They've been crying too. They're like, "It's not the last page; it's a bonus page." It's like, okay,
fuck off, Brevoort.
Oh,
I actually said in the Signal, "Hey, Brevoort, if you're listening, fuck you."
Yeah.
Well,
look, when I go to a bookstore and buy a book, I don't buy a book and hope that the last page is ripped out and I have to freaking find it somewhere.
You have to go online to read the last page. Yeah.
I pay for the product. Like, give me the whole product.
And the issue with Brevoort, and I'll stand by it, he always tries to talk corporate when he's trying to distance himself from stuff. He's a real snarky fucker, actually. And, he always does it. He loves lashing out at people online. He cannot take it. he takes it like a little bitch. And that's why I so enjoy it, because I'm like, yeah, you're talking to someone, I couldn't give a shit about you, Brevoort, and like you just pound on that fucker, and it's like your corporate speak's not fooling me. I see a fat little man in a hat. That's all I see.
That is terrible form, I must say. I'm glad to hear, Phil, that they are kind of rectifying.
Yeah, I think
seems to be a silly.
I'm glad to hear Dave Finn got on the case and was made aware of it, and I think I made my feelings known on several podcasts. So, yeah.
Okay. Next month at this time, I want to try to do like something like this. We're forget Scarlet Spider for at least a month. We're gonna do this.
Sure.
All right, sure. And both of you, but especially you, Dave Finn, I want you to come with 2 names who you think did the best in the comic industry for the past month, and who you think did the worst for the past month. Okay. From now until when we meet again. Who did the best in the comic industry for that month, and who did the worst? So.
Fair enough. Cool. It's going to be hard to find the best.
Oh, I know Dave's going to be like, well, Brevoort, and what's the other name? I don't know.
CB, yeah. CB and Brevoort, they can do interchange. Those two fools. They're clones of each other. Like, if you look at them, CB's the fatter clone of Tom Brevoort, and they're both puffed up pretty bad. I think it's a fun game.
I'll try to remember that. Yeah, for sure.
Chuck Dixon. There you go. There's one. He did the best. For sure. Easily. James Imitation and Chuck Dixon.
James
Imitation. He's put out all those new books. And Chuck's cruising along. So those two guys have been holding up the fort as usual.
Oh, yeah. Saturday, we're talking to him, James DeMatteis again. Yeah.
Fantastic. There's some really great writers out there as well. Like, we talk about Kelly Thompson. She's fantastic. Yeah. Sure. So there's a lot.
Someone? Joshua Williamson on G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah, he's good. Well, he's just generally good. I like his writing.
Good. No, I think Joshua Williamson. I also think is a guy who is always looking to improve. And I think he's a very good writer. Actually, no, there's definitely some good people out there for sure. There's definitely some good people out there. They're just not as fun as just like dunking on Brevoort. He's such an easy target. He moves so slowly like a snail. It's very easy to find him. I hope he listens to my show. I really hope so.
Oh, I don't know if he does, but
he's so funny.
You never know. Yeah.
If he's just like some sort of masochist, and he's just like, I need to know what the people are thinking, and then he just cops it. He just cops
Dave
it.
Thinking?
Like,
yeah.
Just haunted the rest of his life by the ghost of Gardner Fox.
Gardner Fox. Oh, can I do a quick ad for something? So
sure.
Mark Miller, the writer, the British writer, Scottish writer. So he has sort of I don't know if it's a podcast or a YouTube show, but he interviews people on it. So he interviewed Kerry Bates, who I love, and Kerry Bates does not do interviews. I've tried to get him on Signal. He got Kerry Bates on, and it was a few months ago. It's such a good listen. He's had a lot of people on, like big names. Like he's had JM on, but he's had a lot of people from on, and really in depth interviews. And I will say this: Kerry Bates, Mark Miller interview. If you like Kerry Bates, Superman and Flash, it's fantastic. And Kerry Bates does not do interviews, so it was really good.
Yeah, nice. Wow, the legend.
So I've been listening to that too. Got the legend himself. I've had Elias Maggot on the show twice, who was the Superman writer around the same time they were writing partners at times, and he's fantastic himself. And I have said to him, any chance of getting Kerry? And he's like, look, he doesn't really do interviews, but he passed on the information.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Kerry Bates lives in Pennsylvania. Guess who else lives in Pennsylvania?
Go knock on his door. Go knock on his door.
Yeah,
down the road.
Give me an address.
He's a recluse, so you could go in there and maybe bring some food in or something and catch him that way.
Be like, man, I'll buy some lunch. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but maybe go in there pretending like not admitting you're a comic book fan, and then slowly get on the topic and then just start recording.
I'll leave my phone right here. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was looking I was looking him up. Yeah, it says he's 76 years old. So yeah, he probably just still wants to deal with the crap. Yeah.
No, I think he's pretty much tried. But a really good interview, by the way. And I tell you what, he's got some stories to tell.
Oh, I'm sure.
All about a lot of the old guard as well, because he dealt with Walt Weisinger. When he was about 14, he started pitching cover ideas to DC. and then he worked with Julie Schwartz, and he worked from about 1964 to 86 consistently with DC, and then beyond that a bit as well. So really interesting guy, and I must say, Mark Millar, I'm not always a huge fan of his work, but he was definitely a good interviewer. So there you go.
Did Mark Millar do Did he do Dead Man Logan, Dave?
Old Man Logan, yeah.
No. The next one, Dead Man. No, he didn't do that one. Oh, that was who was that?
Ed Brisson did that, I believe.
Oh, Ed Brisson. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Lemire followed by Ed Brisson, I believe.
Oh yeah. I love it. Oh yeah, Cary Bates would be a good interview. Yeah, he worked on the Captain Atom in the 80s there. Yeah. That was when he did in the 80s. We're in fact doing on Signal. We're going to be doing Captain Atom over a number of weeks. Doing a couple of issues a week. Nice.
Because Richard was going on and on about it, and I was abusing Captain Atom like you would believe. And then suddenly I realized Cary Bates wrote it, and then I got interested. I was like, wow, my man Cary Bates wrote this?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess he ran out of Superman stories to write.
What did you see? Did you see DC's finally bringing back a Justice League book, and Captain Atom's going to be in the lineup? It's going to be written by Mark Waid, so.
Yes, with Dan Mora on art.
Mark Waid's still writing.
Yes.
Cool.
No, I'm looking forward to that. For sure. By the way, Scarlet Spider, 5 out of 10. 2 issues. That's it. Very poor. Can I say this? Very poor ending. And frankly, even if the editorial said to me had to wind it up, it was poorly done. Very poorly done.
Yeah, it did seem rushed. Yeah.
No shit. Like, I could have done a better job in 1 issue. He did a poor job over 2. Poor job. And he should actually, frankly, be ashamed of him for what he turned in.
Don't look yourself in the eye in the mirror.
Gardner Fox would have just thrown that away and whipped something up on his typewriter in 10 minutes. That would be better
on a napkin. On a napkin.
And just thrown it at him. And just get out of here. I've got Justice League to write. Get out of here with this Scarlet Spider shit. He wouldn't have said shit because he was Gardner Fox. Well, get out of here with this rubbish. I've got to write Hawkman. Yeah, but no, it was just terrible.
Yeah, I was going to say I ain't gonna worry about this Scarlet Spider issues too much. This will be the first official episode of Capes and Lunatics International. Yeah.
Oh, but we should. I mean, it was good. It was important couple of issues to wrap up the long run that we.
Ray tried to defend it. I know you're going to try.
Oh, look, no, Dave, I'm with you. In the last issue, it was a bit disappointing considering it's a finale. 25. You want something big and happening, and all the build up that goes towards it. We had Araceli's, demons, so to speak, in her dream coming after her, and that was kind of, I thought, really just kind of wrapped up. It wasn't given enough to breathe, I thought. I liked 24. I thought 24 was good. It was interesting, but even then, that was still giving us red herrings and stuff like with Annabelle not being Annabelle. Going to bed with Kane. It was all the kind of twists and turns still, and then I forgot it. Wally? Is that Wally? No, he's in the hospital. Who's the other guy? Who's the guy?
Douglas.
The sheriff guy. Trying to arrest, because that was kind of built up with him checking out the files of Kane, remember?
Yes. Yeah.
And then that just kind of quickly happened, and it's like, sorry. So it was pretty speedy, I thought.
Look, I get it can be hard when they just obviously say you've got to finish and wrap it up. Yeah. But I honestly, unless everything had been done, I just feel it could have been done a lot better than how it turned out. Now, maybe the issues were already turned in, and they had to do that weird thing. Have you heard this weird thing sometimes people have to do? They have to write new dialogue over the pictures.
Oh, wow.
So terrible. This has happened. I've seen this happen in comics well into the 90s. Occasionally, due to some reason, they have to, whatever's written is unacceptable, for whatever reason. And they have to write over the artwork with new dialogue. And I asked Chuck Dixon about it, and he said to him that would be very hard to do. He said that would be very unusual. It hadn't happened to Chuck ever, but it has happened to various people. You hear about it happening a lot in the 70s, even happening in the 80s, into the 90s. Maybe that happened here because it just felt like...
Yeah.
I also felt the artwork was poor. I just felt like everything was rushed in these last couple of issues, and it was a shame because overall this was a really good run.
It was a fun run, right? We enjoyed ourselves. There were some dry, lean patches as well, but I think overall it was. We talked about the Craven mini arc. That was pretty cool, and there was those one shots earlier on, which is fantastic. So it's a shame it kind of whimpered out. But you're right, Dave. I mean, it's if they're told, it's hard, right? It's a fine line, and they say it and say it again that they have to kind of like traject as to what they're going to write about. You have to throw caution in the wind, otherwise you're going to be too restricted. So they have to think big. But then if they do get that call of like you've got to wrap it up in the next 2 issues, it really does kind of kick them in the nuts a bit. So yeah.
I still feel if you really, really wanted to, in 22 to 24 pages, you could have told a better story than either of these 2 issues. I honestly believe that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's going old school and compressing, but rather than what we got, this was, to me, a guy who phoned those last couple in and he did a poor job. And I wouldn't pick up New Warriors, firstly.
You know what? I haven't read that New Warrior series, but I haven't heard good things about it. So
I'd rather kill myself than read it. I've never read a New Warriors comic in my life, and that certainly won't be the first one.
Oh, Fabian Nicieza was great.
I'd rather put a gun.
Yeah, no, it was Chris Yost for the one that came after this. So
I'd rather put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger than read that. No thanks. No, thank you.
It's a real shame. But I can't really defend it that much, Dave. I think it is what it is.
I'm glad. Finally, something even Ray has to admit. Even Ray has to put the dag.
It wasn't terrible. It was just very mediocre. That was all.
I'm giving it 5 out of 10 only because I enjoyed the majority of the run. Really, it's a 4, but I'm giving it 5 because I do believe that editorial and executives called time on this book when the guy had more to tell. Which is a shame.
Yeah. I'm thinking, could you not take a leaf out of Judas Traveller and J.M.D. Mateus and just leave threads untied, unclosed? No, I mean, that's the old school way of doing it. Just concentrate on a couple of elements and just tell a really good story about that. Don't think about wrapping up everything. Okay, you've started all these threads, but...
I don't know if he felt like he had to wrap stuff up because Kane and I think even Araceli were going into that New Warriors book.
Warriors,
yeah.
The one I'll tell you the one thing I liked in the 2 issues, the final page where the
on the beach
it went red and she said, "Oh, the water's red," because that was foreshadowing something, and that was well done. See, that was well done.
That was good,
that shows me that you could have done better, and that's what annoys me the most. That's what annoys me the most.
Well, we know that Yost has written really good issues before, so
like Frank Sinatra said to Sammy Davis Jr. in the 70s, "I'm just so fucking disappointed in you, Sammy," and that's how I felt. He was referencing the drugs. That's what he said to Sammy. I'm just so fucking disappointed. And
you reminded me also, Dave, as well. Wasn't that method? That was started with Stan Lee and Jack Kirby as well. Weren't there instances where Jack Kirby drew everything and then Stan waltzed in and just filled in the blanks?
That was, I think, that was a Marvel commonly the method,
Yeah.
but it's also been used in instances where, for some reason, whatever the dialogue was inappropriate or event reasons, and they don't have time, so someone has to come in and dialogue it all over.
Wow.
It can be done, but it would be challenging, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to really know as an artist as well to make things ambiguous.
Well, no, usually the art is done, and so the guy coming in at the last second just has to dialogue over it.
Oh, gosh.
That's what I'm saying. I said to Chuck, has that ever happened to you? He said it hasn't, and he said that would be challenging. And that's Chuck Dixon saying that, who knows what he's doing, you know? But there's definitely instances where it's happened. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, a 5 out of 10, I think, for me, as for both, right? 5 out of 10. Like the 24, a little bit more.
5 out of 10, yeah.
For the 24, 25, 5 out of 10.
The only good thing about them was they were a quick read. I read them through in about 10 minutes. Bang. Done.
Phil, what did you think?
I mean, unfortunately, I think I got to agree with you guys because again, it just seems like it just kind of seemed to neuter Kane at the end of this. It's just saying there's a Kane and.
Yeah, it kind of went around for nothing, though, didn't it? As well, this whole thing about I'm not a hero. He does all this thing, and he's still saying it at the end. Like it didn't really kind of.
He's kind of a depressing guy when you break it down. He's kind of a sad sack. He's kind of one of those guys who likes to have a bit of a boo-hoo, to himself. And I don't have much patience for them in life. There's just shedding tears and stuff. It's pointless. And he's a little bit like that. They're their own worst enemy as I often think. Like cheer up, pal.
Cheer up.
You know,
we're getting RDJ as Doom. Cheer up.
Yeah. I'll tell you one part that was funny when that chick came in and they fuck.
Oh, with the bazooka.
And then someone else came in and I was confused. What is going on? I was very confused by whatever was going on there, but I enjoyed it. Would have been nice if Marlene showed up.
Marlene. I was waiting for Sydney Sweeney. To say I was distracted, Phil. That's why I was late coming onto the show. We're still looking.
Sydney Sweeney as Marlene?
Yeah, sign me up. Where was the ticket? What do I
get? No. I say we save Emma or Sydney Sweeney for Emma Frost.
Oh, please.
Ooh,
oh, yeah. That'd be very nice. That would be very tasty. Gee, I'd sign up for the Hellfire Club in about 2 seconds.
Seriously.
Read my mind, Emma. Come on.
Please, read it. It's very clear. Crystal clear. Yeah, but so this is the final episode of Scarlet Spider. A fond farewell. Hey, at least one thing I will say. At least one writer got to write the whole series, which was nice.
Yeah, 25 issues, great.
Rather than this shit where they, change and swap around and you get 1,000 different people writing it and all that sort of stuff. So, and you know what? Frankly, I understand that Scarlet Spider is a tough sell in the market. The market would have been going through a challenging time. And the writer did a good job. And, he made it 25 issues. You're skating uphill, as Wesley Snipes would say. It's a tough one. It's a tough gig. You're given a character, and New Warriors, no one cares. Just by putting him in a team with some other losers, I bet as well. I'd like to see that lineup. Jesus Christ.
Who were in that, Phil?
I bet it was a very poor lineup.
I know Justice and Speedball were in there, but there was a bunch of new characters too. They came up, I think, with a bunch of original characters too.
That's what I would say. I'd say, look, you're struggling with Scarlet Spider. Nobody cares about Justice.
What's if you actually went with the original lineup, but it's at least half that roster looked like were new characters. So it's
Hey Phil, can I ask? Did you get the latest Night Thrasher limited series?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
How was that? Was that good?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
It was interesting to see how they. Sorry.
Yeah. No. What's her face? Silhouette was in it too. Yeah. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah. Rage. Yeah.
Rage! Wow, it'd be interesting to see just how that translates from the 90s to now. Did he still have a skateboard?
No. Yeah, he actually had a new costume and almost had a long trench coat with it. Yeah, no, it looked good.
Oh, okay, cool.
I thought you were reading that. No, you should. No.
Yeah, check it out on
that's the other good news that I got this week. By the fall, Zeb Wells is going to be off Amazing Spider-Man. That's my reward, Zeb Wells. So yeah, he's going to be gone.
Isn't Joe Kelly taking over? I thought.
Yeah, they're doing it's only going to be 10 issues, but it's the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man or something. But yeah.
Joe Kelly.
I think it's Joe Kelly and a few other people. It might be a rotating thing, but
Phil, if you've been listening to Signal of Doom last week, I did break that news. So there you go. You're a week behind the scenes.
Me and Loth broke it here. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
We're all breaking news, man, worldwide. No, good to hear. And I mean, I'll take Joe Kelly over Zeb Wells any day of the week.
Yeah,
Joe Kelly knows what he's doing.
Zeb Wells.
Zeb Wells can go back to obscurity as far as I'm concerned.
No, I mean, me and Lil said, they need to bring back that Spider-Man marriage, and we even gave them permission. You can milk it for all it's worth, get for all our money and stuff. And we said put out big specials. You could put out a honeymoon special drawn by John Byrne and Todd McFarlane. I mean, come on.
Yeah. You can charge an arm and a leg. Yeah, no, people will buy it because they've been waiting for it. Yeah.
Are they going to do that?
No.
Phil's head cannon.
Oh, right. I was getting excited there for a second.
Well, we have enough spider people that you can have a married Peter Parker. Come on.
Yeah. Certainly you could.
Yeah, I don't see why there's a problem. Yeah, anyway.
It's I don't get it. It's not really that harder sort of thing.
Well, because the Spidey's meant to be carefree and single or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Ultimate Spider-Man now, they're doing married Peter Parker, and that thing's been selling well. I mean, the first issue went back, I think, for 6 reprintings or something. So
wow,
yeah, 5 or 6 reprintings. So yeah,
jeez.
But also, I mean, look, I just don't think Spider-Man, although he is carefree and stuff, it's not like he's the world's biggest player. You know, like
no, exactly.
Yeah, no.
You know, he's not like the Warren Beatty of the Marvel universe. Like he's Mary Jane. You know.
Oh yeah,
and
they wanted to make they wanted to do a classic Spider-Man after that marriage, but meanwhile they just made him like a slacker and a loser for the last 15 years.
Yeah. I guess because of all that extra responsibility that comes, you know, if you're married and have an SO, I think that's probably why they don't want him to be like that. But
but he had that for years, didn't he?
I know. Yeah.
No, that marriage lasted was like 20 years. No,
yeah.
And I still think, and frankly, between us, I still think of him with Mary Jane. Like that's how I think of him. You know, I don't.
Yeah, you know, originally that's
honestly, it's not like it's that he was with her before they were married. He was with her for a long time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's in the DNA of the character. Really, it's a weird thing at Marvel though. Clearly, they may have instructions from Disney because I've heard Brevoort and CB say, "We know you want it, but you're not going to get it." Like that's literally, I've seen them saying that shit on Twitter.
So
that's one of the reasons I hate CB and Brevoort so much because they'll say that we know you want it, but you're not going to get it.
How does that make sense? How does that make sense when there's enough of your fan base saying we want this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we hear you, but you're not getting it."
Yeah, well, that was the same thing with Punisher. When I said, you know that you've annoyed almost all the Punisher fans. Oh, we know that, but we stand by our story. And I said, but why?
Yeah,
like you're pissing people off who buy the comics. You know,
you've just got to look at a little movie called Deadpool and Wolverine and see what happens when you listen or you take on board what kind of fans kind of want. You know, look what's happened.
RDJ, I'm sure that was trending. At least here it was last night. I'm sure that was trending all over the internet.
Oh yeah, definitely
for sure.
It's crazy news. Yeah,
it's awesome news. I love it. I'm in a good mood. You know, nothing will take me off this high.
I'm gonna be watching Deadpool movies again, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah,
100%. Well, we watched Deadpool 2 only a couple of weeks ago, just to get in the vibe for it. And although I enjoy it, and I did buy the Cable Marvel Legends figure, I thought this Deadpool 3 was the best one by far. By far, actually, too. Yeah. You know, like really, I just think it's an amazing movie, and people should go out and watch it. You know,
that's who we missed as well. I wouldn't mind have seen. They had something about why Cable didn't show up in Deadpool 3, and Domino. I thought Zazie Beetz. I thought she was awesome in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, that would have been good to see them. Oh, by the way, do you know Brevoort's other thing? He's like, we will not have any time traveling characters in X-Men. He said no Cable. And
for the new X-Men
what?
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's a real fuckwit. He's got these rules and regulations for why, he's the arbiter of like what he goes. This is what he said. He goes, people coming from the other timelines have a different lived experience to the X-Men. That was what he was saying, and like so they don't quite fully understand it. I'm like, what does it even mean?
Just leave it to the writers, you know.
Yeah, I'm like. It doesn't make any sense. Like, firstly, they're not real, Tom. You know, like, they're fictional characters. One of them comes from the dark future and shit like this. Like, it's like what Bishop and Cable aren't considered like top tier X-Men now, according to Tom Brevoort. You know,
it's crazy.
Meanwhile, he'll pump out some of the most shit characters of all time in his X-Men books. I read the promo for one called NYX, and it was just woeful.
Oh yeah, what is that, Phil? Is that like set in New York? Is that NY?
I think it looks like it's Kamala Khan, and it might be X-23. That's like pretty much that's pretty much the only X book I haven't picked up yet. So
it looks so terrible.
I didn't pick it up.
It's kind of like New. Is it like New Mutants? Like
maybe I didn't bother picking it up.
Okay. It sounded the cover on it sounded so bad, and if you will indulge me, I'll actually read it out for you because it's so funny. And I read it out on Signal, and it is one of the funniest things I've ever read. Okay, this is it. NYX1. Good picture of X-23 on the front cover. This isn't a book about the X-Men. This is a book about mutants living past the end of their world and into a new beginning. This is Ms. Marvel embracing her mutant life in the neon streets of the Lower East Side. This is Anoli, whoever that is, trying to keep his head above water. This is Wolverine in the shadows of Bushwick, protecting her own. So not Wolverine. This is Prodigy, writing history as it happens. And this is Sophie Cuckoo, finding her own way. The news reports are bleak. The streets feel dangerous. There's something lurking underground. Evil coming from every direction. But they're determined to make it. This is mutant community. This is mutant pride. this is NYX. Like, can I vomit, please? Like it's just so like, give me a break.
Yeah, the lineup didn't even speak to me either. I'm just like,
who's Prodigy? Firstly,
I don't know, because I think some of these X books they've been coming. I think
they're a band from the '90s. They were a band from the '90s.
Well, I think there's a bunch.
Just think about the guy with the haircut.
I think there's a bunch of new characters too. So
I'll be giving that a huge skip. But just the way they go, this isn't about the X-Men. Okay, then I won't buy it. That's fine. You've solved the problem.
But Ray, did you see the new X-Force book? It's going to be Forge.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much good things, like X Factor as well.
Yes, X Factor.
Yeah, I would get it for Forge. I like X Force as well, so I would definitely look into getting it for Forge as well. So yeah, I don't know, it's too much to get, but
you'll be getting it, Ray.
Probably.
Ray, what did you Ray? You sent me a thing earlier today. It was like Deadpool Epic Collection and something else. Which one did you end up getting?
Oh, I haven't got it yet, but so hard.
What was the choice? Deadpool and what?
And Wolverine.
I say get both.
Yeah,
Both, Ray. Stop fucking around with your life.
I might have to get both. I don't know.
Yeah, come on, Ray.
If I had to push comes to shove, it might have to be Wolverine, but I really want a Deadpool Epic. Anyway,
we'll do it, Ray. Yeah. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Are we done? 5 out of 10. And I'm available next month if you want me, Phil. I'm available.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, do we want to try to do some Scarlet Spider issues or not? Or
I'm happy to, but like, I'm also happy at this format as well.
Yeah.
I feel we might be shortchanging some lovely Scarlet Spider fans.
Why don't you do one issue of whatever it is, Scarlet Spider? What if this is this Peter David thing that Ray thinks is the greatest thing of all time? Like,
that's not. I didn't say that.
Peter David from his deathbed, still pounding on the typewriter.
It's cool.
He's probably down to dictating now, like just dictating word by word, like a word a day, and they get a comic book script out of him. Like, it's like this is written by Peter David. Meanwhile, picture of like his wife writing it at a typewriter. It's him to sign the check.
Yeah.
So Ray, is it Eisner Award winning?
No, it's just fun. You know how Peter David writes. He's good. So yeah,
he is. He is good.
Yeah.
He is good. Yeah. When he's not doing GoFundMe for kitchen repairs. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I remember in the early days of Signal, we had so much fun at Peter David's expense. Yeah. We're not allowed to anymore because he's so in ill health. You're not allowed to make fun of him anymore. But sometimes I break my own rules.
Yeah. So I mean, look, definitely happy for this format still, Phil, as well.
Sure.
Happy whatever. We're good.
All right. We'll make the call later. All right. So all right, kids. So yes. So send us your thoughts not only on Scarlet Spider, but any topic you want us to talk about. Well, tell us what you want to hear Dave go off.
That leaves it wide open. For a lot of things.
Oh my!
I could do Bob Dylan album reviews. I could do Frank Sinatra. I could do Sammy Davis Jr.
What do you want, kids? Send them in. CapesandLunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. 614-38-CAPES. I can find how merch and episodes and the Patreon. You can find the Patreon, patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, and everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right, so if you need more Dave Finn in your life, where can they find Signal of Doom and everything else, Dave?
You can find us on all podcast networks. You can find me on Instagram, Signal of Doom now. You can find us just about everywhere you look, on Facebook, on X. Notice I'm not calling it Twitter anymore. I finally worked that out. And, just check us out. Signal of Doom comes beaming in every week. And we are loud and proud. And the truce with Brevoort is over. I'll say that right now. The truce is over.
Oh, damn. All right. So, besides playing with your deck, Ray, where can people find you?
I mean, well, first, check me out on Ray Plays Games. It's great. Play a lot of I had a Deadpool Wolverine special week this past week. Played 4 playthroughs. I usually just release a game a week. I had the absolute pleasure of playing with one of the titans of Marvel champions, Steve Kimmel. He used to be a playtester for Fantasy Flight Games, the publisher. So he played Wolverine, I played Deadpool, and we had a fun time going up against the Hood and everyone. So that was good. But yeah, a few other Deadpool playthroughs and another Wolverine and Deadpool playthrough, all there on Ray Plays Games. Otherwise, just check me out on Ray Pod, REY Pod. on all the social media platforms. Still going on Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. Looking forward to that. Had something scheduled, but unfortunately, life, kids, has gotten in the way there. So just a little bit delayed, but we'll be coming out with our review of Vengeance of the Moon Knight issue 7 very soon. But yeah,
they could also find your West Tigers game, Ray.
Oh jeez. If you want to save a sinking ship, please consider becoming a West Tigers member. Only costs you $250 and your soul. But
your soul, yeah.
Sounds like
they should be giving part ownership in the team, right? Really, should be selling.
They haven't won. They've only won 4 times this year, Phil. 4 times so far, and we're up to round 20 something.
Oh, damn,
terrible. Anyway,
they're struggling.
Okay, I had a thought. What we could do with this space every month, along with the usual, what's going on currently. Maybe we take turns picking what we review, and it doesn't have to even be Scarlet Spider. It can be whatever. I mean, if Ray wants to pick Peter David Scarlet Spider, he can.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So.
Gee, your ideas, man, Phil.
I know.
Very good
I'm
idea.
full of it. I know.
It probably helps you do about 10 shows a week, so you kind of come up with these ideas.
All right. I don't have specific issues, but I think I'm going to pick first. And I've been jonesing to talk some Punisher with Dave Finn, so I'm thinking we'll do something Punisher next month.
As long as it isn't,
I'll be there.
As long as it isn't Panic in the Sky, then that's great.
Yeah, fuck Panic in the Sky. That was boring. Well, I'm up for any Punisher chat. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Punisher's awesome. Yeah,
bring it on.
Yeah, do that as well.
All right. So yeah, I'll grab us some issues. I'll figure out what issues we'll do, and then you boys just tell me when we're free to record. Yeah.
And can I just say, every month for me it's just Chuck Dixon and JM just holding the ship afloat. I'm not going to bother thinking about all these other clowns.
No, just whatever you come up with. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
I might pick New Warriors and maybe Justice, the miniseries for Dave.
Why?
You're going on the shit list, Ray, with all his other co-hosts. So.
Yeah, wow. Thanks.
No, it'll be Deadpool. Don't worry. I reckon it's going to be Deadpool.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm up for whatever. Listen, I put up with some of Richard's picks. Oh my god, some of the shit he'll pick. I'm just like, why did you pick this, Richard? Like, why? Like, it's awful. He picked something the other week that was the worst thing he ever picked was the Trigon Empire. It was unreadable. Even Richard agreed. It was so slow moving. It's like reading the Bible. It was awful.
He agreed about it.
Yeah, he agreed. He goes, "Oh yeah, no, I must admit it was slower than I expected." I'm just like, "Yeah, it sucked, Richard. Like, it should have been left back in 1951 when it was written."
All right, I'm not doing any exit music because again, this ended up not being a Spider Cast, but that's all right. All right, kids. So come back in 1 month for Capes and Lunatics International. All right, thank you.
Peace out.
Bye.